This review of Star Trek Beyond is dedicated to the memory of Anton Yelchin, the actor who played Pavel Chekhov that we unfortunately lost too soon. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilization, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Author's note: this video is my review of Star Trek Beyond based on Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry. Star Trek Beyond was directed by Justin Lin, produced by Skydance Media, and distributed by Paramount Pictures. This film stars Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Carl Urban, John Cho, Simon Pegg, Anton Yelchin, and Idris Elba as Krall.
Well, at least I won't die alone. Well, that's just typical.
I hit a wall. I never felt so low, so low.
Hey folks, I hope you like this little shout out to Star Trek the original series. Personally, there's not enough of this on Gary's Mod or Source Filmmaker. Anyway, here it is, my review of Star Trek Beyond. Finally, a great movie that's not published by Disney. Star Trek Beyond picks off 3 years after Star Trek Into Darkness, and so far, things went from bad to worse for the crew of the Enterprise with every passing minute. Right off the bat, this film felt like a nod to 3 of the most well-known Star Trek films of the 80s and early 90s. The big difference is that it felt more like an ensemble film, even compared to the last 2 films. Everyone from Chekhov to Scotty to Uhura to even Dr. McCoy had a role to play in this story. Of course, not to show personal bias, but I thought Carl Urban's character of Dr. McCoy got the best lines of the entire film. Everything that came out of his mouth always seems to give me a smile, and this has been going on since Star Trek 2009. And heck, if DeForest Kelley were still alive, I bet he would have been proud of Carl Urban's performance. As for Krall, he has officially dethroned Khan as the best Star Trek villain ever. From the moment he was introduced, he single-handedly proved to be more of a threat than any other villain in Star Trek, period. And yet, his own backstory, which I refuse to spoil, actually does make him more of a tragic villain. Tragedy always seems to bring out the worst in villains. Since 2006, I had taken an interest in the original Star Trek, with J.J. Abrams magnifying that with his alternative take on the classics. Star Trek Beyond maintains what made the first 2 films great, all while channeling the charm of the original series and the classic films. If anything, Star Trek will continue to live long and prosper. I know this sounds like the time to call it, but I'm not done yet. Here's a little fan promo of Star Trek the Animated Series. For those of you who enjoyed Star Trek the original series, do yourself a favor and check out Star Trek the Animated Series. Created by Filmation, the same team behind The Adventures of Batman, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and She-Ra, Princess of Power, Star Trek the Animated Series continues the journey of the USS Enterprise and its crew led by Captain James Tiberius Kirk and First Officer Spock. The entire series, featuring the voices of most of the original Star Trek cast, is available on Netflix. But you can also purchase the animated series on Amazon Video and DVD with a Blu-ray release coming in September. A perfect piece for anyone who enjoys the original series. Here's to 50 years of Star Trek. May it live long and prosper.